Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. Welcome to the final webcast of 2022. It is hard to believe that this year is almost over, but the World Federation of Youth Clubs is so excited to be here today with all of you because today's webcast is all about you. You're the experts and the leaders who are changing the world and making it a better place for the next generation of young people. And I could not be more excited or more thrilled to introduce to you today a number of guest speakers who are your peers from youth clubs around the world who are here to share some good news, some celebrations, and just a little bit about what you've been up to this year. So today we're going to have a couple of presentations. Some folks are going to share live here on Zoom, and a couple of videos are going to be played for those who have some internet connection challenges. So we'll go through a couple of presentations, and then we're going to get into a really fun networking session. This will be your opportunity to connect and interact and engage with everyone who's on the call here today. So please, if you haven't already, turn your camera on. Let's imagine that we are all together in the same room. I mean, we are in the virtual room, but let's all be here today, be present with each other, and take a moment to celebrate all that you've accomplished this year, big, small, and everything in between. So before we get started, a few quick housekeeping items. First, as always, we're recording this session because not everyone's able to join live, and we want to make sure the entire World Federation of Youth Clubs community is able to access this information. So as always, a link to this recording will be emailed to you after the meeting. We do ask that you stay on mute for the time being because we do have some guest speakers coming up in just a couple of minutes. But today's session is all about networking and engaging and interacting. It occurred to me that I've been sharing this presentation without sharing my screen, and I'm going to take just a minute to make sure that is set up and ready to go. See how excited I am for today. I hope you are all too. So sorry about that. So now everyone should see the slides. Let's say housekeeping. Can I get a thumbs up if that looks good? Okay, thank you, everyone. See, for those of you who are guest speakers today, if you're sharing live and something goes wrong, go with the flow. There's no better way to do it. So a couple of more quick housekeeping items. Please stay on mute for now, but we will be coming off of mute a little bit later to interact and talk with each other. Even if you're not an approved guest speaker for today, you're going to have an opportunity to share anything you wish. And we do have a couple of questions and guided networking for all of you. We will enable the live transcription, so you can follow along down at the bottom. Tony, please enable that for us. And then, of course, the best way to view today's session is to click on View, then Speaker View, or side-by-side Speaker View. A quick look at our agenda before we jump in today. We're going to start with a message from our fearless leader, Kirk Dominic, President and CEO of the World Federation of Youth Clubs. Then we're going to jump into a couple of quick presentations from leaders like you around the world. Then we're going to network. We're going to talk through some of your challenges this year, from some of your big wins, and we're going to ask you to share more about the youth who inspire you. We'll wrap up with a couple of closing remarks and send you on your way. So without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Kirk Dominic to welcome us with a few words.
Thank you, Abby, and hello, everybody. I'm sorry I'm not on video with you. I'm actually traveling to visit with one of our affiliate leaders from England who happens to be in the United States today. I'm on my way to visit with everything you've done throughout the year. You know, as we reach the end of 2000, that's what today's gathering is about. So I want to thank all of you. Certainly, I want to send a special shout out to those of you who have agreed to speak today and to share your stories and celebrate your successes. But I also want to celebrate all of the affiliates of the World Federation of Youth Clubs. And it continues to not be the easiest of times, and we will continue to do our part to help you navigate those challenges. But we certainly want to pause here at the end of the year and give thanks and celebrate the work that you are doing. I also want to take this opportunity in front of all of you to celebrate the work of the World Federation of Youth Clubs team, many of whom are on this call with us today. And I know that you join me in gratitude for the work that they do to support you every day. So thanks for letting me be a small part of today's celebration. I think this type of networking and sharing of best practices is probably one of the most important things we can do as a family. And so I thank you all for being part of it, and I look forward to hearing the stories. Thank you, Abby.
Thanks, Kirk. And now a couple of words from Tony to get us started.
Thank you so much. First of all, just wanted to thank everybody again for joining us. We designed this webcast to be really simple, light, and fun for everybody that is involved. So how it's going to go is we have a couple of speakers that are lined up to present in the next couple of minutes. Every speaker is going to have about 2 to 3 minutes to present. And then after the presentations, Abby is going to guide us through some guided networking. Just wanted to give everybody a heads up. There are some polls and some different interactive things that we've built into the webcast. So if something pops up on your screen, don't be scared of it. That is totally intentional. And with that being said, let me start the first poll here. So first poll is going to be, where in the world are you joining from? And this poll should allow you to enter some text. So we'll give it a couple of minutes and wait for all the results to come in.
If you haven't introduced yourself already in the chat, this is a great time to do that while we're waiting for other folks to answer where they're joining us from. Feel free to say hi if you're joining with anyone else from your team.
Let's wait on a couple more. Thanks everybody for participating.
So Tony, where's everyone joining us from?
It's not letting me see the answers quite yet. I have to end the poll for that. So I'm going to give it a couple more seconds and then I'll end it. All right. Awesome. So let me share the results. All right. So we have attendees from Wales, from Botswana, from Mount Vernon in Washington, a couple of people from Orlando, from the Republic of Georgia, from Botswana again, England, Tampa, and one more from Botswana. Awesome.
All
Thank
over
you
the
so
world.
much. Yeah, that's great.
Well, thank you all for joining us from every corner of the globe. I'm sure you are excited and ready to hear from youth club leaders, so we won't hold that up any longer. I am excited to share our very first presentation. First up, we have the National Association of Boys and Girls Clubs from the United Kingdom. So Andy, whenever you are ready, you can share.
Thanks, Abby. Hello, everyone. Great to see you all. I've got 3 or 4 things to celebrate that's on my list. So I'm kind of only going to give the highlights, Abby, but just to say that if anybody wants any more information, I'm happy to email you information about anything that I talk about for you to forward on if people want to know more information. So yeah, there's 3 or 4 things for us to celebrate from the National Association of Boys and Girls Clubs. So the first, they're all 3 of them are different programs that we've run. So the first one is called Kickstart. So this was a government-funded program, which as lockdown came to an end, I think they recognised that there was a need for young people to get work experience, get back into work and training and that sort of thing. So the government here in the UK funded a £2 billion program called Kickstart, and the National Association of Boys and Girls Clubs were fortunate to be able to bid for one of the projects, and we were successful. And as a result, we were able to get around about 100 young people from across our network of youth clubs and projects involved in working for our member organisations and the clubs that they support in a whole variety of ways, whether it was delivering sports and activities, it might have been in administration. There were some young people who helped out with fundraising and social media and all of that sort of thing. They were fully paid employees of the organisation, so it was at no cost to any of our members. And yeah, it just proved to be a really successful programme, and we were really pleased to be able to help those young people in some way. Another program that came so just before lockdown, we managed to get funding for 2 sports projects, and then, as I say, lockdown happened and everything ground to a halt. But as we emerged from lockdown, we were able to get these programs back up and running. One of them was called a youth activator project. So this was about introducing new activities in youth clubs, maybe buying some training or equipment that would allow new activities to get involved, or it could be just expanding already successful activities that were taking place. But despite lockdown and COVID's best attempts to bring these projects to a halt, we managed to reach 4,000 young people in a whole range of activities. Yeah, it was just really good. We far exceeded our targets with this program, and young people were able to take part in sports within their clubs. They may have gone away on residential activities and done outward bound type stuff, or, as I say, young people could have been trained in sports leadership. So again, really good. And the other program was about getting more young people involved in table tennis. And again, we far exceeded our expectations. We reached 500 young people in around about 30 local youth clubs, and getting table tennis started in those clubs. And then the final thing we wanted to celebrate, not too long ago, we had our first national conference and awards evening take place, which was our first kind of major event, bringing all of our member organisations and volunteers and staff together since before lockdown. In fact, I think the last major event we were due to have was our national conference, but that didn't happen because of lockdown. And so it was great to be able to bring people back together again. So we had around 120 young people from all across our membership. We had a great evening where we celebrated young people's and volunteers' achievements. We had a number of workshops taking place and inspirational speakers. One of the inspirational speakers that came all the way from America was somebody called Kurt Dominic. So it was great to have him with us, and he came a little bit earlier and stayed a little bit later to visit some of our clubs in London and then up in Greater Manchester as well. So I hope he enjoyed being with us as much as we enjoyed having him with us. So yeah, so that's a few of the things that we're celebrating here in the UK.
Thank you so much for sharing, Andy, and congratulations. It is wonderful for those of us who are able to rejoin in-person activities for conferences and learning, and congratulations for all that you accomplished this year. Next up, we have Boys and Girls Club of Puerto Rico, who unfortunately is not able to join us this morning. They've had a scheduling conflict arise, as they so often do in the work that we do. So I've asked Glenn to share just a few quick words about how their year has been.
Thanks, Abby. I'm glad to do that. I know that Olga Ramos, their CEO, was looking forward to this, but as you described, we are sometimes held hostage to the urgent things that happen in the organization, and it was important for her to be at the meeting that she needed to go to. So she got a hold of me earlier today, and so I'm glad to fill in. I will tell you that the Boys and Girls Clubs of Puerto Rico are an outstanding affiliate of the World Federation of Youth Clubs. They have, like many of you, survive much of the difficulties that are going on in the world today. Not only the pandemic situation that they're working through, but 2 hurricanes in the past, 18 to 24 months. And that has shut down some facilities. They've been able to reopen those. They're back at full strength. They serve thousands of young people each day in those facilities. They operate a wonderful school site as well. They have been also a great share of their best practices. I know that they have a wonderful, and urge you to reach out to Olga if you, or us, to connect you with her in reference to their Youth of the Year program. They have a wonderful celebration for their Youth of the Year program. They do it as not only a friend raiser, but a fundraiser. And they attract people from the community to come to this, and they recognize their young people and all of their clubs at the same time. We consider them to be not only a great affiliate, but also a sister club. They share all of the time. They're glad to host people to come to their location and take them. We have a couple of our clubs in the U.S. that will be visiting there as well. And so I would encourage you to reach out to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Puerto Rico. They're a great resource, not only for the World Federation, but for young people everywhere. Abby, thank you for letting me share on behalf of Olga and her team.
Thank you so much, Glenn. And of course, once again, congratulations to Boys and Girls Club of Puerto Rico for being selected as a program recipient for their Star English program at the Promise Awards this year. Glenn mentioned the Sister Club partnership. If you are interested in becoming a sister club with another club in the US or internationally, please reach out to your mission advancement advisor. Next up, we have, sorry about that, Boys and Girls Club of Botswana. Present is going to share with us. I do want to mention that he's having some internet difficulties, so he won't be on camera, but you will be able to hear him.
Hello, everyone. So let me just take this time to share with you our success stories that we managed to accomplish this year as Boys and Girls Clubs of Botswana. So 75% of our kids enjoy coming to spend time at the club. Then 79% of our club, 79 club kids, they feel recognized when they come to the club and do a good job. 82% of our kids agreed that they feel like they belong, like they belong to our family of boys and girls. So we have reached 120 kids since we started last year. We started with 30 kids, but right now we're at 120 kids, 50 boys, 70 girls, aged from 6 to 20. So we serve meals when they come to the Boys and Girls Club. We have served about 400 meals. So we have 6 volunteers, which is the director, the 2 programs officers, the finance officer, and the cleaner. So one of the successes that we would love to share this year, we submitted 2 proposals, one to the American Embassy under the Ambassador Special self-help fund, and another foundation was called the Unique Foundation, which in September we announced the winner of the Ambassador Special Help Fund. So we are funded with $9,500 to our boys and girls, so that we can buy equipment for our boys and girls and to support our program. So then also we had a request that we submitted a request to the Peace Corps Botswana, where we requested for a visual. So then in September, we were also awarded a Peace Corps volunteer that we're working with. Hopefully he will join later. He was supposed to be in this meeting today. Then also another success that I can share with you also, it's our Christmas lunch will be sponsored by Absa Bank here in Mahalape. So our kids will be having a full-fledged and a colorful Christmas lunch, Christmas party for them. And also SPA just came in board because we just had some networking sessions with our community leaders. So we just got out of a workshop which was funded by Peace Corps Botswana with $7,800 where they just funded the whole program for our teens who just completed their standard sevens. So I just wanted to say thank you to the World Federation for your assistance, your technical assistance, and also thank you to Tim, who is always working with us 24/7, Peter and the team, then our team here in Botswana, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Botswana team. I just wanted to say thank you. So that's the success that I could share with you, because here in Mahalape already we just got a space where our club is operating. So thank you very much for your assistance. If Uncle Peter is there, he can just say some pictures. Peter, are you there?
Yeah, no, you did a great job, President. Just wanted to echo what you have said. This is the first full year the Boys and Girls Club in Botswana has been operating, and through partnership, some of local and some international, President has been able to do huge progress. And I'm hoping next year when we present, we actually have another club that's in the process of being affiliated with the World Federation of Youth Clubs. So, and President has actually been a huge help to that club. So instead of people traveling to other countries, they can now go to President, and we'll be able to see how the Boys and Girls Club concept works. And so thank you for that.
Thank you, Peter and Present, for sharing that amazing news about Boys and Girls Club of Botswana. Congratulations. Securing funding and growing your programs is no easy task, but we're so proud of you and so happy for you. Next up, I'm excited to introduce, excuse me, Grant Pointer from Boys and Girls Club of Wales.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm just going to share my presentation. One moment. There we are. And I'm just asking if everyone can see that, okay? Yeah, are you able to see that? Yeah,
Yes.
Abby, can you?
Looks good, Grant.
Yeah, we're good to go, are we?
Yes, we're
Brilliant.
good.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. It's good to see everyone here today. And it's good to hear from Andy, also that we work with it in the UK. It's early evening time here, so we do hope you all have a good day ahead. I'd just like to spend a couple of moments really to talk about the past year, our successes over the past year, but also looking forward to next year. And we are Boys and Girls Clubs of Wales. We're a national voluntary youth work organisation, and we have a lot of member clubs within Wales. Some are sports clubs, but a lot of our youth clubs that are probably opening around now for young people. So if I can just go on to the next page. I don't know if my pictures have come up, but Yeah, the pictures have come up. There we are. Great. Yeah. So if I just go back a slide, actually, it's funny because my presentation is a little bit delayed. So if I can just use it this way, if that's okay. Yeah, so in January, we started the year winning a Youth Work Excellence Award for a project that we worked with young people around engaging them in politics. It's really important that young people are involved in decision making, and our Raise Your Voice project won a Youth Work Excellence Award in Wales, and we were delighted with that, and we continue with that. So that was a really good start to the year. In February, we took over a 44-bed residential lodge, which enables us to run youth work activities for young people with the emphasis on the outdoors, and trying to get young people to meet together, to be, you know, obviously COVID was quite tricky for young people to be together, but to challenge themselves against nature. In August, then we hosted our youth exchange with our German partners. This is a partnership established in 2013, sorry, 2003, not 2023, 2003. So again, it's a really long partnership, and we're really delighted with that. And we continue that work because involving young people in youth exchanges, whether it's hosting in Wales or going abroad, is really worthwhile. In September, thanks to kind of some old friends from the Federation, the World Federation in Mark, we hosted a WWE Be a Star rally in Cardiff ahead of the Clash at the Castle, and it was great to have young people being inspired by the Street Profits and Bianca Belair. We were delighted in November of this year. Our country, Wales, got to the World Cup for the first time in 64 years. So there was a lot of celebration to go and see Wales and to see Wales at a major World Cup competition. Sadly, we didn't play that well, but it enabled us to apply for funding to take 32 young people from Wales to Portsmouth in New Hampshire, and to play against Seacoast United, so a representative USA side, on the same day that Wales played USA in Qatar. So we were delighted to be involved with that, and to be hosted by Seacoast United. Whilst we were out there, we had to try and meet one of our kind of sister clubs in the USA, and it was great to kind of be in touch with Erin, who I know spoke at last month or the month before Webcast, and myself and Jonathan Price, who's on the call. We were able to go and see that amazing club and to learn about their programs. So that's all about this year, but I'm kind of looking forward to next year, and we have this amazing fund in Wales called TAIF. And TAIF in Welsh, it means journey. And the TAIF fund is a Welsh government fund that aims to connect Welsh young people to the world, and young people and youth workers from other countries to Wales. So I'd urge people on the call to have a little look at the website, taif.wales. Our partners on the call are unable to apply, but it'll tell them a little bit more about the programme. But it's for Welsh organisations to apply so they can undertake projects with other countries. And as part of this fund, there is some money for us to bring people over to Wales as well, whether that's youth workers to visit our clubs or for young people. And you know, it's a small world. We were disappointed because that we were no longer part of Europe, and we had something called the Erasmus Plus funds. But we really want to provide opportunities for young people from Wales to see the world and to welcome people in. So if any of you guys want to get in touch, my details are there on the presentation. And that's all from me, Abby. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Grant, and congratulations for all that you've experienced and accomplished this year. It's an exciting program and partnership with the opportunity to travel and experience different parts of the world. So certainly consider getting in touch with Grant. Next up, we have a short video from Society Beliki. Give me one moment to get that open.
Hello, everyone. Hello, my friends. This is a great pleasure for me and my organization to participate in 2022 end of year youth celebration. I am Marim Gebrishvili and I'm head of Society Beliki. We are from Republic of Georgia and I'm leading Society Beliki since 1997. We want to introduce what kind of work we implement during 2022 for children and youth. Working with children, we mostly using art therapy approach. So generally we are using painting, sculpture, music, therapy, making handcrafts. And I want to highlight that we had a chance by help of children, because they made these paintings to have participation in Louvre in France for exhibition called One World, One Future. And now we are waiting success from this competition. We using handcraft as an approach to help children be more developed in motor skills or in eye and hand coordination. We providing for children and with children different kind of meetings and training, which helped them to promote and develop different kind of skills. Here is one success story which is connected also to the English language access micro scholarship program, and for our students attending in US exchange program. Here is a picture from the Boston University where these 4 students had special meetings. And here is our yard, our very colorful yard, and you can see on the wall paintings which was done by our children. So thank you very much, and I hope that from this online meeting we will meet very soon physically.
Thank you so much, Mari and Society Beliki. So much to be proud of, and congratulations for another exciting year full of strong programs for young people. And we have one last video presentation before we jump into a little bit of networking. So I am happy to share our final video from Petros Zoe Initiative. I am so sorry, but I'm having some technical difficulties sharing this video. Of course, we tested it 2 or 3 times this morning and it worked great. And now it doesn't work. So I will share very quickly that Petros Zoe Initiative shared a wonderful video announcing some accomplishments with their community action teams program this year. It's a new program that they launched in partnership with an organization called Rescue One More, which helps young women and children who have experienced trafficking and sexual abuse, and helps bring those perpetrators to justice. So big congratulations to Petro Zoe. I believe in the video, Aaron mentioned that they helped with more than 30 criminal cases for young women and girls and children in the Uganda community. So of course they were recognized as a Promise Awards runner-up in the programs category, and they have a lot to be proud of. I will make sure that we include their video in the follow-up to this so you can hear directly from Erin, because I certainly do not give her story justice. But with that, that completes the presentation that we were going to run through together and share. So now we have a little bit of an opportunity to interact and network and engage with each other. So right now you see a slide up on your screen that says networking. Please turn your camera on. And of course, we know a lot of you introduced yourselves already in the beginning, but if you haven't done that yet, take just a moment to type in the chat where you're from, your club name, and how long you've been with your club. And again, please turn that those videos on. It's so great to see you all. So we do have a couple of structured questions for networking. And to kick us off, we want to ask you about a young person at your club who has made an impact in your club or community, who you just want to tell the world about because they've done something amazing or because they inspire you. So this is your opportunity to come off mute and share a story. Does anybody want to volunteer? I see that Ron has his hand raised. Ron, you are welcome to come on off mute and share your story.
Yeah, so for my organization, I would say a young person that made a tremendous impact on me this year was our Youth of the Year, Joanna Gamboa. She was a lifelong member of the Boys and Girls Club in Mount Vernon. When COVID hit, she found a way to really fight through and be resilient. And she started working part-time in healthcare as a 16-year-old. And then she started working part-time for us as well, because we were open 12 hours a day to provide services for our kids because all of our schools were closed. She is a leader. She was an officer in her Latinos in Action group in her school. So in my community, about 60% of our students in Mount Vernon, in the Mount Vernon community, are Latin students, and representation isn't quite there for educators and professionals. And she really led an advocacy charge to get that changed. And then this year she was named the Washington State Youth of the Year. And so that was a great achievement for her. Through the process of working during COVID and everything else, she's decided to go into healthcare. And I'm really proud of her and excited. She also managed to finish her associate's degree while graduating from high school simultaneously, and went on and is now at my alma mater, Eastern Washington University, furthering her education. She comes back and it's about 5 hours away from us. She comes back and volunteers like at our golf tournament and different events. And she was recently a speaker at our gala that really ignited philanthropy in the room. And we saw record-setting funds raised. One of our auction items, a dinner with a county commissioner, went for like $18,000. And it was really, it's Joanna and her story. So she's inspiring to me and to our organization. And I know she's just one person of all the kids that we serve that's like that. But Joanna's been pretty special for me this year.
Ron, thank you so much for sharing that. Joanna sounds like a very special young woman, and congratulations to you to having such a wonderful young person and team of young people who are part of your Boys and Girls Club community. I see that Mari has her hand raised and wants to share.
Okay, thank you. And I want to share one a small story which gave me possibility to think that we as an organization are on the right way. So American ambassador in Georgia visited us because this high level like person who visited us, time was of course limited of this visit, and we had everything highlight and time schedule what we want to show. And of course, I present all organization, all activity, what we are doing for children, for youth. And one activity she attended, we are children introduce what they I in my video was it shown that we are using as approach about handicraft or something. So she also seated around the table with children, and together they make some dolls, what is very famous and what we are doing during these workshops. And somehow it happened because it was not planned. We have psychologists, which this person has their own room, and of course every time this room is full with children, and we did not plan to enter this room with the ambassador and show. I do not know. It's happened something because time was very short. We did not plan to show this room. And introduce the psychologist, and somehow photographer went in this room and listen some case. So there was a child which had something bad at school, and this child has conversation with psychologist, and he draw this situation. Using animals, and this picture or painting explain all situation, what he felt. And of course, the child has conversation with a psychologist, and in this picture was shown this lady, psychologist, and then children explain to this photographer that this Biligi and this person and other persons are helping them, and now in this moment this child was feel very good. And then this photography of ambassador decide to invite in this room ambassador, and this boy, little boy, again explain what he draw and how these Biligi, these people who are works in Biligi helped to this child, and now for this moment he is very great. He is feeling very good, and you know something happened in this situation, unplanned situation, and I saw that what we are doing, how we are working, it's really works and useful for children. Okay, this was just one child that, of course, I was in a very good mood from this time. So this was very short situation, how I can share with you how we are feeling, and children, our beneficiary, can feel, and I can imagine that we are on the right way and we are doing good work. So, sorry, little bit long I spoke.
Thank you so much, Mari. Art is such a powerful tool and a wonderful resource. I would encourage you, if your program doesn't currently have an art program, to consider reaching out to Society Beliki. They may have some ideas and best practices to share. I see that Present has his hand raised, and then we'll have time for up to 2 more people if you'd like to share. So be thinking about if you want to go next. Present, go ahead.
Okay, there's this one kid who just made a huge impact within our club. When he came through to our club, his academic was he was an average student. So when he came to our club, he was an average student, but he put more effort during our power hour sessions where we had our power hour sessions, like our academic success. He was putting more effort with our academic success. From there, this kid was also like selected from his school to go and represent his school for a competition called Spelling Bee. And he was also announced the winner of the Spelling Bee from Mahalape sub-district. Well, still surprised with what he is grasping every time when it comes to the club. We also had a chance to have visitors from Japan International Corporate Agency, where this kid shared his experience, what he's doing, what activities he does from the club, which was like a huge success, because also we managed to have that partnership because of the testimony that he shared with the Japan corporate agency, because they just visited our club. They just wanted to know what exactly are we doing, and also seeing how best to partner with our club, where they can just send like a volunteer. But since from that presentation from that kid, it made us to be like an outstanding club, so they can easily partner with. So that was one kid who made my year to be like an awesome year. You know, when you just make a difference in someone's life and you just see the kids going and learning, and he's excelling right now because school just ended last week. So he was one of the top achievers at his school. But that's another thing that just keeps me going with one of the kids. Like, you can see that at least what you are investing in our kids, making a difference in their kids, like looking at the background they're coming from, but the effort that they're making to make their lives turn around. Thank you.
Thank you for making a safe space possible for that young person and all of the young people in Botswana that your Boys and Girls Club serves. That is an amazing story. We have time for 2 more quick stories. When I say quick, 90 seconds or less, to share about a young person who inspired you, or anything else that you want people to know. Anyone want to share?
Hi, I'm Christina Trader. I also work in Skagit County with Ron. I oversee a couple of sites, and I have one at my primary location. He's a 5th grader at the moment. And he really tugs on my heartstrings. When I first started working with him, there was a lot of challenges with behaviors and just listening and getting him to want to do projects and activities with other kids. And since we've been working with him in smaller groups and kind of changed our structure, he's excelling, he's doing well in school, he's positive, he greets every single human that walks in our facility and wants to be best friends with everybody. He's this bright, smiley kiddo, and watching him grow up and just make a change in the club and be so happy has kind of been this overwhelming heart push. And everybody that comes in as a guest, he greets and has this giant smile and asks how they're doing. And he, for me, is my motivator. And the other day I was sitting in my office, and I hadn't been in my office for a while in the afternoons, and he walks in and says, "Hey, how you doing? And where have you been? I need you here more." And it just made me melt. But he engages with everybody, and he's my inspiration every day. Thank you.
Christina, thank you for sharing that. It's amazing how a little bit of attention and investment in a young person can go such a long way and make such a difference for their lives. Congratulations, and thank you for sharing. We have time for one more. Does anybody want to close us out? This could be a story. Oh, I see we've got Jonathan with his hand raised. So you are going to kick off our final presentation. Take it away, Jonathan.
No problem. I could feel the pressure coming from Grant on this one that I hadn't said anything. So I thought I'd kind of chip in with something. I'll keep it really short though. It's more about the power of opportunity that we all give to young people, really. And this kind of goes back to a story of a young lady who we found actually had broken in with a group of other young people to one of our clubs. And like any good youth worker does, I thought, okay, how can we turn this into a positive? You know, what can we do for these young people who are broken in? There's obviously a need there. So we invited all those young people to one of our projects that we were running, an active inclusion project, which is all about supported employment and education and helping just kind of get back involved in things. And the young lady in question came to it with a few of her other friends and really kind of just embraced that opportunity there and then. And it was kind of like no holding her back from then, really. She kind of, we've got her onto the supported employment side of it. So she actually worked with us in Boys and Girls Clubs of Wales. So we were able to kind of offer that guidance and support on a daily basis, which we desperately needed to start with. And then started volunteering in her local youth club again and took more of a leadership role there. And then further on, it's going to tie in with Andy as well. She came on as a kickstart worker then after that. So the kind of removing kind of the training wheels off even further. And now she's a fully fledged teaching assistant in a school and just working on her own. And she still volunteers at the club, which is amazing for us. So yeah, it was a really kind of like positive story for a young person about grabbing that opportunity in front of them. So yeah, that's me. Thank you all.
What a perfect way to end our celebration for this year, to share a story about turning a challenge into an incredible opportunity. Congratulations. That is a wonderful story. We are 1 minute away from the end of our meeting here today. And I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you and congratulations to all of you, especially those who didn't share and those who weren't able to join us today. And those who were, thank you for all that you do every single day for young people. What you do is incredibly important and special, and you are quite literally changing the world. This is our very last webcast of 2022. It has been an incredible year with all of you. We're so proud of all of the work that you've accomplished and all that you will continue to do. We will see you again in January 2023. Please mark your calendar. Our next webcast is January 26th. As always, we'll share a recording of this session, and we'll also include some additional materials this time, like some photos and some videos from the presentations that you saw today. And I do just want to mention, although it's not up here on the screen, that WFYC is getting ready for our June 2023 International Virtual Conference. Now, please note, in the past, we've held it in March, so there is a shift this year for June for the virtual conference. And right now, we're accepting conference proposals for speakers who are going to lead sessions on a range of different topics. And you all are the experts. So we encourage you, if you are interested, to consider submitting a proposal to lead a session at the virtual conference. And if you have more questions about that, you can reach out to me, to Tony, visit our website, wfyc.org/conference. conference for more information. Those proposals are accepted now through January 31st. And I can tell you, I heard some incredible stories about leadership today, about the program work that you all do, and about the outcomes that you all have on young people in your community. And I certainly hope to see some of you expressing your interest in leading a session at the conference. So with that, I want to wish you all a very safe and happy holiday season. Thank you for all that you do, and congratulations on another incredible year of youth development. Thank you.